Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, everybody. Happy hump day. I have a really exciting show for you today. I'll be introducing Leslie Hurd here in a minute. I'm just going to get this video shared on all of my platforms here. Share. All right. You know what? I'm going to share this to Leslie's group too. Or actually, you know what? Okay, just give me a minute here, guys, and I'm going to get started. I don't have any cool music today, but I do have a great interview coming, so hang tight here. All right. Welcome to Wednesday, everybody. I am Elle Abbott, and this is Down the Rabbit Hole, and I'm back after a little vacation. Went to Mount Shasta to get away from the crazy, meet up with my soul tribe, have a little peace, have a little quiet, and I'm back. And I'm going to make some changes to the show. I actually want to focus more on interviewing people in my life who are mentoring me, or healers, or people who I work with and trust and love. So one of the, I don't know if I've ever really shared this story with you guys before, but I myself have been through one abortion and one miscarriage, something that caused a great deal of pain and stagnation in my life, and depression and anxiety and grief. And I didn't know how to get support or what to do about it. And thanks to Facebook, Facebook is kind of like this bittersweet thing, I was able to connect with Leslie Hurd, and she calls herself a Godmother doula and a bereavement specialist who specializes in coaching and counseling women, and really some other things which you're going to find out, right? To help with that and to heal that and to transmute that. And it was wildly successful for me. So what she had taught me, and you're going to learn about this today, was a ritual called a soul baby release. And after this ritual, it was really, truly, what can I say? It just had set me free. It really had, it really did work as far as healing goes. So anyway, no, I haven't had coffee yet today. I'm still getting going. And I wanted to tell you guys more about Leslie. So Leslie, I'm gonna she when she was younger, she had an abortion and a miscarriage. She said it was at a young age, and she didn't have anybody to turn to. And so this made her realize the importance and necessity of a bereavement bereavement specialist. And so she feels women need a safe place to release their feelings and someone who understands their pain without being judged, without being told that they shouldn't talk about their problems. And so when Leslie Hurd holds a bachelor in arts in psychology from a Gossie University in Chicago, Illinois. And she created a nonprofit organization for women called Godmother Doula. It was created to help women who suffer from child loss from abortion and miscarriage. She is a bereavement doula and a mental health professional who works with women and families seeking support from traumatic miscarriages, past abortions, and mental health issues. So with that, I'm going to bring on Leslie. So here she is. Hello,
Hi.
darling. Good morning.
Good morning. How is everybody? How are you doing?
I'm good. Still waking up, and this has been a minute since I've broadcasted, so I feel a little rusty, but great to have you on. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I feel my voice is a bit off, but I'm fine.
Yeah, you were telling me you've been chugging raw apple cider
I
vinegar.
have. It's summertime, so you try to get summertime fine real fast.
Yeah, I think it's
Try
time
to
for me
slim
to hit
down
the
your
gym.
waist.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Well, so thank you. I'm really I would like to just start off a question with having you explain what you do as if you're explaining it to somebody who has no idea what you do.
Okay, well, let's see. I am a bereavement doula, and I am a certified mental health professional. So I intertwine both of them. I actually help women remove spiritual attachments that are on their auras. And so what that means is we have a spiritual side of the healing that needs to be addressed. I know the mental and emotional side always gets addressed, but we really can't attack it without addressing the spiritual side of healing. So what I noticed when I was working in the outpatient center as a mental health professional is that a lot of women had spiritual attachments connected to them. And what most people don't know is spiritual attachments create mental illness. So because they're attached to your brain, they attach themselves to your spine, and your spine is connected to your brain, and then that's how your aura, that's why we're able to do magic and phenomenal things as human beings. It's all in your aura, and that's in pretty much the more attachments that you have, the more depression that you have, the more pain that you experience in life, even financial experience that are bad, things that are attached to you that are physical, they're all affected by the spiritual attachments that you have. And everybody has them. It's not just women who lose children, but men have them too. I get them every now and then. That's why I always cleanse myself. I make sure that's done because, anything can cause you. You listen to music that's bad. You watch TV and watch a bad show. You even watch the news. Anything. You go outside and you may cut somebody out because they pissed you off. Something. It causes spirits to come and attach themselves to you. So in the case of abortion, the miscarriages, a lot of women have soul babies. And soul babies, what happens in that aspect is that when we are in the astral, what we know as heaven, we create contracts with people, our ancestors, really, I should say, our ancestors, like, your mom in this lifetime could have been your sister in your past lifetime. So when we're up in the astral, we're like, okay, I'm going to have you next life. I'm going to give birth to you, and I'm going to give birth to you, and say, okay, we make a contract with them. But when we have an abortion, we create a contract, a failed contract, or we cancel the contract, or lack of better words, we, kind of just rip it up and tear it up, and we just disown it. So in the case of a miscarriage, we don't necessarily burn the contract, but because of the trauma to the womb that we created from anything, like maybe from having sex with the wrong person or having abortion before you had that miscarriage, we created trauma to the womb, which caused the contract to be breached in that situation too. So soul babies, once we breach the contract, the baby stays on the mother's aura, which the baby staying on the mother's aura creates a breach in the field, which attracts lower vibrational spirits, attachments, parasites, lower entities, which cause trauma and bad things in our lives. So what I do is I created something that would help women remove that soul baby, send it back into the astral for the reincarnation cycle, and to cleanse herself from that contract, and then also work on spiritual healing. Because a lot of times, a lot of situations, what I notice with a lot of my clients is that the later they do the soul cleansing, like say they had their abortion in 2012, but they decided to do it this year, 2020, that creates a bigger problem in their life because they have more spiritual attachments. Yeah, so I did that and create the ritual so they can remove it and then start their healing process.
And so how long have you been doing this for?
Well, okay. So what happened was, um, I was evolving in my spiritual journey, and my master teacher was like, "Well, Leslie, you can't go any further until you start removing all these spiritual attachments." And so that was in, I think, 2016. So since 2017, I've been doing it for 3 years. For 3 years. Well, three, yeah. There were 3 years now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I
Mhm.
know it's gone by fast. What kind of success, what kind of testimonials are you hearing about the Soul Baby release?
Okay, so there has been phenomenal testimonies. Like, one thing that I noticed, I always tell women to use streams in the ritual, but the women who go to the ocean have the most phenomenal testimonies. They go to the ocean and they burn their contract in the ocean. And I've been hearing stories of goddesses coming in their dreams and taking their baby. They see their baby being taken away, and the goddess holding it in their arms. I hear women when they come home, they have cramps and it feeling like, kind of like after birth, you have that heavy period feeling. A lot of that, those experiences, but a lot of women have dreams. Always, the dreams are always the connection.
I see. And what about like what's their testimony afterwards? Do you ever hear back about them feeling better, lighter, less
Well,
depressed?
always feeling lighter, but like I said, in some cases, because they waited so long to do the ritual, they have other attachments. So there's
Mhm.
more healing work that needs to happen. Like, you know, some women have a lot of financial karma because they waited so long. I mean, there's a lot of entities that they'll see the soul baby and they're like, oh, okay, there's a breach in the aura. Let me go in and, create relationship problems and all those other things. So a lot of times women won't see the process of the healing until about maybe 6 months to a year, because there's other things they have to heal in their life. But it
Yeah.
is, yeah.
Well, I think I'm just like relating this back to my own experience because my abortion was in 2011
Mhm.
and I just did my soul baby cleanse in January. And that
Right.
also had a miscarriage January of 2019. And both were deep sources of pain. Both of them were very painful experiences, very dark and unwanted experiences. And so that's funny because it's catapulted me into healing, and not in a way that's so dramatic on my body like I've done before, where I'm in healing and I kind of shock myself. It
Mhm.
just has been coming sort of gradually and gently and increasing over time, if that makes sense.
Mhm. And that's how it should work. I mean, depending on what are you doing besides just that process of healing. There's spiritual tools that help you heal faster. It helps remove obstacles out your way, because even though we're in the process of healing, we still have obstacles that's going to come face our way.
Mhm.
So those things happen. I have a lot of spiritual tools. So it's like, I got to use this for that. I got to use this for that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people think that, doing the soul baby ritual is going to cure everything. It's just one of many things, because we live in a lower world where it's so many things attacking us as much as they can, as fast as they can, because a lot of different beings that are here on this planet, they want the world to stay at a low vibrational rate and frequency. And so we just got to remember that the healing process is continual. You know what I mean? It's always continuing. And it's also should be happy. That's one of the things that me and one of my spiritual friends were talking about. The healing process should not have to be negative. It has to be a happy process. That's a part of high emotions are a part of healing.
So how do you address women who are living in guilt and kind of guilt ridden from having their abortion?
Well, to be honest, the thing about abortions and miscarriages, it's a very sensitive subject. And, a lot of women want to be told nice things. And sometimes being nice is not the way to heal. to help the person that he's healing. So the guilt really is coming from the soul baby wanting to live. It wanted to live their own life because they actually can't live a life through their mother just sitting on their oar and say, okay, I see my mom. She's getting up today. She's brushing her teeth. Okay, she's saying hi to my brother and sisters. She's breaking breakfast for them. And here I am sitting here every day watching her doing her thing, and I can't live, And so, I don't talk about this. I don't even think I mentioned this in my book, but the soul has different essence. So different essence means there's different parts of the soul that live in other places. Like, so the soul baby lives, one part of the essence of the soul lives on the mother, and then the astral world, they're kind of like in a holding cell because they're neither alive or dead. Okay. So it's kind of like a miserable feeling. Imagine the soul being in prison, if you can, for lack of better words. And so the regret that the mother is feeling is that baby. Remember, a lot of spirits, when they attach themselves to us humans, like men and women, they connect to our brain. So that mental illness is coming from, or the regret, the sadness, the depression is coming from that entity or that spirit that's attached to you and how they feel. So that regret is coming from that situation. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What about women who never do a soul baby cleanse? Does that mean that soul baby is basically attached to them for their entire lives?
And you don't necessarily have to do the one that was created, the one that I teach that was that particular one. There's other ones that I've heard women do, but that one I know works for sure, because I had women come to me and say, well, I did it already, but they're dreaming of their soul babies. They're still having signs of that spirit still being attached to them. But if they never do it, the thing is that when you go into your next life, you reincarnate, we have a ninth chakra that holds all the emotions and past lives. It's our spiritual DNA. So whatever you don't cleanse and heal from in this life, it follows you to the next life. Yeah. So, yeah. So that's why a lot of women have miscarriages, or they can't get pregnant because they didn't heal from the last womb traumas from their past lives. Yeah.
Yeah. So about infertility, I mean, that's one of the services that you also offer, that you're also offering. So tell us a little bit about how you help women get pregnant.
Okay, well, I have two ways, as you know. Okay, so I have two ways. One way is the fertility tea. Is the fertility tea is an ancient root. Is from the Doula family, and it's an ancient Chinese root, and it actually heals the womb, and it helps women with fibroids, with PCOS, with anything associated to your womb that is causing you problems. A lot of times, like I have clients that they want to do both. They want to work with me and they want to work with the medical field. And I tell them you can do either one or the other. You can't do both, because doing both is going to keep you in the same situation. And then I have another where I do angel summonings. And so my angel summonings are my favorite, of course, as you know, which that is something I think it's phenomenal. Only thing with that is that you really have to practice on healing the womb. In our society in America, we eat a lot of dairy products, and people don't know it, but dairy really is bad for your uterus. Okay, so a lot of women have menstrual cycle issues. That's because they have a lot of dairy, but dairy's in a lot of things that we eat, especially milk and cheese. And so things of that, but that's what I do. So I do angel summonings, and I have the Duguan tea, and yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any recent success stories you can share?
Well, I helped a lot of women remove their fibroids from with the tea. I helped women with endometriosis she actually is really happy because she's having sex with her husband again, where it was very painful for her. And now she's having sex, and they don't have children together. They have children from a separate relationships, but they don't have children together. So they're working on that now. And so the endometriosis has, I don't want to say been alleviated, but she's not having that pain. So she's able to have sex again. And then there's another client that I have who has fibroids that were 6 inches, but they were started off at 6 inches and then they went to 9 inches as she started drinking the tea. So now they've shrunk. So they're shrinking. And so those are the things those are my success stories. With the angel summonings, I had 2 women get pregnant, and I'm waiting for one other.
Waiting on me.
Yeah.
I had to say something to Sal the other day. I was like, well, we got pregnant last time when we weren't trying, so maybe we should just stop trying.
Yeah. Or do different positions.
Yeah. Oh, we still have sex, though. Don't get me wrong. We like that part of it. I've been really focusing on cleansing, and I have been staying off of dairy. And I just started trying raw eggs because I heard so many great benefits about raw eggs, and I happen to have chickens here, so I get them fresh. Okay. And I heard something about it helping with fertility too. So I thought, I don't know if I can do this. I gotta close my eyes, squeeze some lemon juice in it, and whoop, it tasted like lemon juice. I went, okay, this is easy. I can do
Well, we're both doing something crazy because I'm checking back my apple cider vinegar. Okay. So.
I thought that too. I was like, as soon as I judged her about that being crazy, and I'm swallowing my raw egg.
It's okay.
I tried it one time, I think, with the apple cider vinegar. I was like, yes, this is going to help me lose weight. Nope.
Never mind.
Nope.
Yeah. Well, I have my apple cider vinegar pills, but I don't think it works as good as the drink.
No, I know. I tried that one too. I tried the tea, and but the raw stuff really is the best. It's so good for you. Yeah. So another thing that you share often, which I find really, really, really interesting, and I really feel like it's news that isn't shared. News that is not shared would be on the experience that Black women have with abortions, miscarriages, and even giving birth in a hospital. And so I'd love for you to just share some of that awareness.
Okay. Well, you know what? The experience is very real. Racism is very real. I know I don't talk about racism a lot as a spiritualist, but it does exist. And really, honestly, I'll say from the gods, they say that evil is evil, and they don't really get into the racism side. They say evil is all the same. And it is true. But when you're in the matrix and you're feeling it, you don't see it as evil. It's attacking you. And, a lot of Black women experience racism as being pregnant. I know I have when I was younger. I was 19. I lost, I had a miscarriage. I had twins, and I miscarried my first one at 3 months. And then at almost 6 months pregnant, I miscarried my son. And I didn't get the treatment as if, I even had insurance, and I was insured under my mom, and she had the best insurance at that time in California. And they treated me as if I didn't have insurance. They told me to go home when I started bleeding. I literally had to be experiencing contractions before I was able to be let in the hospital. I went back to the hospital 3 times when I lost my son. And I don't talk about that much, but that is something that it really happens to Black women. And then when I had my child, they rushed me out the hospital. I couldn't hold my child, but for maybe a day I had my child. But after that, was like, okay, you're done, And I've heard stories of my friends who are white, who they lost their babies and they were in the hospital 3 or 4 days. They got treated like, it was okay. And that's one thing. After I lost my twins, I got pregnant 6 weeks later because I wasn't gonna. I just have this thing where I'm gonna have a child. You know, the world is not gonna say I lost my twins. I needed to be pregnant again. I was 19, and that was my sanity. So I got pregnant with my daughter, and I went to see my OBGYN, and she asked me if I was pregnant by the same person. And I was astonished by that because I was pregnant by the same person, but she just assumed that, you know, I just got pregnant again because I'm 19 years old, that, you know, by anybody. So after losing my child, you know, both my children actually, because I was pregnant with twins, but one died in my arms. After losing my child, you knew my situation. 6 weeks later, you asked me if I was pregnant by the same person. And she begged me, after I actually lost my child, to hurry get on birth control.
Wow.
Yeah, those things were very real. Yeah. And so what you see right now with Black Lives Matter, and those situations, what you're seeing is a movement of Black people supporting something they really don't understand. And so I have kind of like sympathy for it because it's it's something more than just about racism, right? More than racism going on. Black Lives Matter is actually a puppet. But because we experience, like Black women and men, so much racism by just our neighbors, you know, it's hurtful. And that's why you see a big push in America right now, because this happens every day. Every day, Black women die because they just say to their doctor, "I'm in so much pain. I'm in pain," and they don't believe us. Because, you know, honestly, Black women handle pain differently. Our physical level of pain, our endurance is different. You know, I mean, let's just be honest. It is different. After I gave birth to my second daughter, they gave me some Vicodin, but it wasn't working for me. And so I saw a white doctor, and she didn't want to give me anything because I wanted OPEX. I knew OPEX was going to help me not feel the pain because I had a cesarean. And she didn't want to give it to me. So I saw another doctor, and she was a Black doctor. And she said, "You're in pain?" I said, "Yes, I am." And she gave me my pain. I mean, she gave me the pills, and it helped. But those things happen all the time. Black women say, my pain is at a 9, and we get treated as we're lying, that we just want to do drugs. Like, I've never done drugs in my life, but that's how we get treated. Like, we just want to do drugs, and we're coming in the hospital to get drugs. If I have a baby and I have a cesarean, I'm in pain. Why would I be just saying I want this because I want drugs to sell it on the streets? I mean, that's how deep the racism is, because you can't see that I'm in here for a reason. I'm not making it up. It's not fabricated. It's a real issue. But those things happen, and so a lot of babies die. A lot of women die because we don't get the right treatment, because nobody believes that we're in pain. Nobody believes our situation is really real.
Yeah. It was an article you had shared too about a husband and a baby suing a hospital. His wife, she was extremely educated, and she had she had an important life. She had a purposeful life. I remember that in the article. And she was having complications during childbirth, and the doctor had said to her, "Your wife is not a concern right now. We're worried about saving the baby." And I think when I read that article, I went into a little bit of shock. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Why would anybody say that? You're in a hospital. Like, what? This is 2020. That's why we go to the hospital to have a baby, so that both live.
That's just one of 100 million stories. It's one of 100 million stories.
Do you think or feel too that abortions are pushed more on Black women?
Black and Latino, yes. Yes, most definitely. Because our numbers, they don't want to be high, you know, and I've traveled all over America. I grew up in San Diego, California, and so I come from the best of both worlds. Like I grew up in the hood, but I'm a very upper middle class family. Who my mom didn't. She wanted to be in Black area, and so and we had like 2 Planned Parenthoods in our neighborhood. You know, I moved to New York and I went to Harlem. Harlem, they had a Planned Parenthood right across the street from the projects. You know what I mean? And that astonished me. I was like, wow, you can go have sex, get pregnant on Monday, and on Wednesday you can have an abortion. That is crazy. That is crazy. And but it's deeper than that. Abortions are more deeper than color. Remember, we're getting caught up in race, and it's more like it's the soul tides. The depression, that's frequency. It keeps the frequency and the vibration of the earth low because women are the gateways of heaven. So we can keep that low. We can keep that gateway depressed low. We keep the frequency of the earth low. So it's more than just about color or racism, but Black women or Latino women are used as pawns because we are usually in the poor, uneducated parts of the neighborhoods or society. And so that's why white women are used as pawns too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and we probably don't even realize it or know it.
Mm-hmm. It's more than racism. It's really about humanity just needs to be protected because there are forces and there are things that look human on this planet that are not, and they want to control us and enslave us. And that's really what it is. It's just a form of slavery. And as long as they can keep us low vibrational, they win. And that's a part of evolution. We're going to the golden ages. So even though it looks crazy and all this COVID-19 is going on, it's just really the beginning stages of something phenomenal and the ending of something horrible. So,
yeah,
so you know, they're fighting tooth and nail, you know, and so I'm kind of like with them, I watch, I'm like, is it time yet? I'm ready.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm ready for these golden ages. Yeah.
right. It's there. It's there. It's
yeah.
Sure. I'm so glad that you are aware and awake to that and helping also to share the truth. And I see that about your post too. You are a disruptor. And I like that. That's the way we need to be. We're not here to call you and tell you what you need to hear. We're here to tell you the truth. And sometimes that feels like it's an attack, but it's not. That's just your ego, right? So I appreciate those who are willing to stand and be courageous and be disruptive because that's the game changer. That's the game changer.
Know, you can't heal unless you know the truth. You know, and that's a lot. I see a lot of different abortion and miscarriage groups and like, oh, it's going to be all right. No, it's not going to be right. You need to do the ritual. You need healing. Oh, but my friend told me you should just, let me just plant some flowers. And are we going to spiritually evolve or are we just going to pretend? You know what I mean? And it's too much pretending. That is part of the beast is pretension. You know, we have to know the truth in order to set us free, right? And the truth hurts. That's the truth. Truth is supposed to hurt because it's supposed to be shocking, so it can wake you up and slap you awake and say, "Bitch, get up." You know, we got work to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
I talk about surrogacy a lot. Well, not a lot. I hit on it in the book, surrogacy. I want to mention it. Because you brought something to my attention because a lot of women don't want to know the truth because surrogacy is a big thing now. And so surrogacy is a way of, it's like a high form of adoption, and I had a lot of women attack me about that. But with surrogacy, the intended mother and father, they get the child to look like them. But the spirit and the soul of the child actually belongs to the surrogate. And it's actually her ancestor that she's given away for adoption,
Yeah, so I know people who have been adopted. Every single one of them has a core wound that's with them for the rest of their lives that my mom didn't want me. So there's this whole spiritual thing that's happening when that baby's growing in the womb. And it's a bond, it's an attachment, it's more than just physical. And I love that's what you're teaching women too, that there is a spiritual aspect to being the mothership, to birthing new life. It's probably more of a spiritual journey, which is why I chose to go the spiritual route for infertility and not IVF.
Thank God.
Dumping a bunch of money into getting drugs and injections and being told that there's something wrong with my womb, knowing that I trust Goddess more, like that's my faith, right? And I need to put that in her, that I'm going to open my channel to be a mother, whether it comes from my womb or it comes another way.
Well, you are going to be a mother. You are going to be a mother, okay? And it's just, you have to learn your body. You have to learn, we're all different. And it's like right now I have, I got my tubes tied because I said, okay, I don't want any more children. But there's certain things that happen because I had an awakening, and then I learned I had more contracts. I had one more contract to fulfill for children. I was like, what? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I have to have another baby. But my family is like, Leslie, you put this in your book. You're not going to have another child. You have you got your tubes tied. Girl, what are you talking about? You're crazy. And I said, no, I have to. The soul baby's already on me. So how else is going to come? So, if that can happen for me, it can happen for you, And
yeah. That's just one of the things that in our minds, it's so hard to get past, right? Like, what's been the hardest thing to alchemize is all the brainwashing that was given to me through the medical industry about fertility, that my age had something to do with it, that my weight had something to do with it, that never did they focus on nutrition. It's always, oh my God, you're over 35, you're an old woman now, and you shouldn't be having babies. But that's a crock of shit. So,
right.
And the way that I learned that was doing my own journey. It was last year, July 19th, on my birthday. I did my own journey and had the goddess herself tell me, and she was serious. She was kind of pissed. Don't put faith in those industries. They're not the ones who create life. I am.
That's right.
And I'll teach you how to bury a soul. Listen to me. And I went through a whole process of 6 months. How do I say this process? When a thought comes up, like, oh, this isn't going to happen because of my age now, or
you got to break those chains, those mental chains.
Exactly. Yeah. I had to keep breaking those chains, and I still find it coming up, which is just how deep that programming is. It's so deep that there's certain people that in my life that I do not discuss it with because they reinforce that programming. They instantly they get kind of horrified of thinking of women in their 40s having babies, and I think that's kind of funny. You're like, oh my God, we're going to have a baby with Down syndrome. If it even does happen. And they get super.
But you know what? What if you do have a baby with Down syndrome? There are souls that want to come into the world like that. What if? And that's another programming. There's some souls, they have a contract to be in a wheelchair. Okay, there's some souls that have a contract to have cerebral palsy. If you read the book, I talk about my son. He's not going to have. He's going to have to learn how to walk because he's going to have his feet are going to be like kind of folded. Okay, and this is all been prophesied in my dreams, and God's told me that this child is not going to come in the earth healed. He's going to have to learn how to heal himself. But that's how he wants to come. And I said, okay, well, maybe I just have to be the vessel. I'm already a doula. I have to show women that just because your child is going to have some type of deformity does not mean he's worth an abortion or she's worth an abortion.
Amen. Sister.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. All life is valid. And this is also from the goddess, all life is valid, all life is loved, all life is divine, all life has purpose. And all life really nowadays, anybody can do anything they want. We now have Down syndrome women who are supermodels.
I know, and they look good.
you got plus size Lizzo now.
Yeah, I know, right?
Stereotype. I mean, we got some badass. We got Betty White, hot old ladies now.
Yeah.
Come on. There's only living during white.
We're coming like in the 1950s. Conformity was a big thing. You know, they pushed conformity, and that's where prescription medication came from in the 50s, because we used to do lobotomies, right? Which was crazy, where you stuck pretty much like a ice pick in the eye, and you know, but conformity is a big thing. And so we're taught to, you have to look this way and you have to act this way, and this is acceptable versus not being acceptable. My son is dyslexic, right? And so it's like he gets treated differently in the school academically because he's dyslexic. It's like they don't even care. Well, you don't fit in with the regular children, so you know, who cares? You know, you're not part of our program. But you know, half of society is dyslexic. So why don't we make a dyslexic school? You know, why don't we have dyslexic public school? 1 in 4 children are dyslexic. That means the majority. There's a good population of the school that has dyslexia. Why are we not catering to that? You know, because that is the way government says it makes people feel bad. It makes you feel like you're less than. It keeps that frequency low. It makes people feel like they're better than you. That's another frequency that's low, egotistical. So you have to remember, everything that's opposed to us is based on the frequency of the planet and how they're really conforming us to keep it at a certain type of vibration. And so evolution is necessary. That's why we celebrate Lizzo and her body in her bikini. Yes. That's what she want to do. That's what she's doing.
Yes. Yeah, and she's doing it really well. Wow.
Yeah. Everybody, you know. I like it. I mean, why wouldn't we have models that have Down syndrome? We have people who have Down syndrome. They wear clothes, you know.
Exactly. You know, it's funny that okay, so you bring up frequency, and this is something that I really wanted to share with you, because like, if we're talking about schools that kind of only cater to one type, right, and really like shut out everyone else. And it's so funny, if we had schools that really catered to different people, right, what an intelligent society we would have. And one of the things, so we're talking about frequencies. I am a feeling type of person, and I see energy signatures around me. And one thing I noticed was that darker skinned people, or the brown or darker skinned people, have like a blood.
Wait, I didn't hear you. You cut out. They have to what?
They have an energy signature, a frequency that's different in their blood. So medications, a lot of medications or alcohol, things like that, man-made stuff is very disruptive, more disruptive to this. And this frequency that I'm talking about connects highly with earth power. So there's a power in it that's greater than the colonized or the lighter skin, right? Or human sort of, that's been like taken out of the indigenous ways. The melatonin in their skin still have this energy. And so it is just something that I see, something that I feel, right? I don't know if it's true or not, but I see a lot of things that we don't acknowledge anyway on our planet, right? We don't acknowledge a lot of energy.
You're talking about melanin.
But the difference is like where the oppression comes from, right? Is like, so what I'm seeing is that somebody with darker skin has this ability to connect with earth power and have a greater result of their magic, if that makes sense. They can tap into that magic and like fly with it, so to speak, outside of the oppressive systems. And so,
I mean, as long as you have melanin, you have the capability to do magic. I know what you're saying. Dark skinned people do, they, you know, able to take in solar energy a little bit easier than lighter skin. I mean, I look light right now because I'm in Texas. I'm always in the house. But when I grew up, I was very dark. I was always in the sun. But it's just we get downloads. That's all it is. It's just we get downloads really faster. And that's why, you know, a lot of African American, like we're the popular trendy race, or I hate saying race because we're all human, but I guess culture, because we get downloads really fast from the sun. But that doesn't mean that no one else does. You know, there's cultures that are great dancers and that are not, you know, African of descent. But yeah, our magic does come faster, and it's just because we get downloads easy. But if you do sun gazing, regardless of what skin color you are, you do sun gazing in the morning and in the evening for 10 minutes a day, it'll happen just as fast.
Yeah. When I was talking to you, I was telling you that I was always a heavy dreamer, and that has been dulled down probably by my excessive marijuana use, which I'm working on. But one of the things that you had mentioned too was that I don't know if it was you or where I learned it, but that when your soul is trying to come through and you are healing it, it'll come in flashes. So after the Soul Baby release, I noticed that I would get flashes and like smaller dreams, right? Like little dreams here and there. And here we are, fast forward to July 1st. It's July 1st today, huh? Wow. Those flashes are turning into bigger segments.
Yeah.
So,
well, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. From the time I was 14 to 31, I smoked weed every day. I smoked big blunts every day. I'm from California, West Coast, freaking smoking West Coast. But I had to cut that out because I realized that the frequency of the marijuana is low. It's very low, and it blocks you from your magical power. And so, like, my master's teachers, they're the one who created the spell. They just taught me how to do it and heal and how to do the ritual. They created the ritual, but they taught me how to create the spell for myself. But they told me that if I kept on smoking marijuana, my magic would be dead. You know what I mean? And so, and it's because of the frequency of the marijuana. Everything is frequency. If you look at everything as frequency, even though we're like physical bodies, we're frequency, and it's based upon our light. You know, if we look at our bodies at a different light, all you would see would be light. And when you see a body, you just see a light or aura. So magic is based on frequency. So the less attachment to spiritual entities that you have on you, the higher your frequency. It doesn't matter your color of your skin. It doesn't matter anything. It's just your vibrational pull. It changes. It shifts based on the things that you do. Like with alcohol, you call alcohol spirits for a reason. But yeah, so when you raise your vibration, it changes everything. It changes the way you download things from the sun. It changes how you do your magic. You know what? I tell you, you can even practice this. Stop smoking marijuana for a month. I'm gonna say a month because you smoke it for so much, and then listen to the listen to the tones that I gave you every day.
Go 5 hours,
right? But listen to it, and then this is what I want you to do. Okay, for example, smoke marijuana today, and then burn an incense, and then videotape how the incense flows around your body. Then stop smoking at least for a week, okay, and cleanse yourself. Listen to the tones that I gave you. And then watch how put on incense again. Then watch how the incense flows around. It's going to be different. It's going to change because it's the frequency that you're pulling around you.
Wow. Yeah, amazing. I don't know if I would have understood about soul babies if I didn't understand about spirits from alcohol. When I learned about spirits from alcohol, it made so much sense. It also made a lot of sense why I liked it, because being sort of someone who likes the shamanic feeling, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of fun to let those spirits take you for a ride. I've never once blacked out, right? But have you ever seen somebody black out? It's like they're not there. Someone else is in their body taking it for a ride. So coming to Vegas, when I was really coming online vibrationally and coming into who I am and seeing things that were around me, I could see the dark spirits hanging out above the bars, above the places where people are drinking. Like, hang out because people are going to drink and they're going to be able to attach themselves to it. And they each have their own, each alcohol, right, has a different type of spirit. Like Fireball versus vodka, two different type of spirits. But anyway, it makes sense to me that if they're spirits, they're attached themselves to alcohol, right? Obviously, the whole baby is going to attach itself to birth into this world. So it's very interesting.
Well, I know, and I miss drinking margarita and tequila. I'm from San Diego. Okay, I'm Afro Latina. Okay, I want some margarita. I want margarita. I want my 4 shots of tequila, but I can't have it anymore. But one of my close friends, he was telling me the drinks that we could drink. It actually raises your vibration as you drink it, and you still kind of get that woozy, kind of nice feeling. And that's honey med. It's actually an alcohol for spiritualists or people who are healers that we can drink. Yeah, and then there's also another. It's an elixir, and this elixir is made by monks in China, and so it's fermented vegetables and plants, and then you drink it. It's very strong, but you feel that way. But you the spirits that you're dealing with are high vibrational spirits. You know, so yeah. So even though it's like I say, don't do this, but there is something else that we can do. You know, it's just not like my tequila. You know, sometimes we have attachment to things because of what we were doing at that time. I'm attached to having fun, my hot girl summers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, oh, this is great. So Brittany is a friend of mine. Brittany is, oh my gosh, she's probably 8 months. Maybe I shouldn't say that. She is asking how she can get in touch with you. So Brittany, I'm going to post, I think I posted already, if you look at your comments, her Godmother Doula page. And she also has a group that you can be involved in. The group is really great. I know when I first got in the group, I just opened up my heart and I shared in there that, you know, I had this miscarriage and I was just going through so much pain and suffering. And it was wonderful. I was great with so many women who, and also Godmother here, right, to help me get through that. So it's a wonderful group. She also probably in the other room, but I'll take a picture of it and share it on Facebook. And it is the Soul Babies a book that she has on Amazon. And so yeah, the best way to get a hold of us, so you can here on Facebook, you can send her a friend request. She's totally amazing. And you also teach other women how to bereavement doulas. Is that right?
Say it one more time. You're kind of breaking up.
You also teach other women how to
yes, I do.
Doulas. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do. Mm-hmm. I do.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, it's a lot of women. I'm just one person, and it's a lot of women that need healing. So hopefully I'll get enough women so I can teach the spell and the rituals so they can do it and learn it themselves. But I haven't got my group as of yet of people who are, but it's not going to be easy. You have to learn certain spiritual aspects of magic, and you have to be really on a path where you are letting go of things in the matrix and embracing the things from the golden ages. So if anyone's interested in learning, then you can come and contact me.
Yeah. Well, I'm interested. I just don't know if I'm ready.
You're ready. You have to let go, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you that the magic, it's to me, magic is worth it. You know, it really is. I do a lot of invocations where I speak in ancient Latin. And so those words are so powerful. You know, my friend, he can start a fire with just saying some words. You know, I'm not at that level. I just turn on my heater in the house with just saying words. So, I mean, when you're doing stuff like that, you'll be willing to let marijuana go.
Sure.
When you start learning how magic is powerful and how, you know, you learn different techniques and you just say something and something happens just like that. And I had to let go of weed to do that. Oh, okay. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so many other, I mean, I have been playing around with magic. We'll say we got a house from Sex Magic, me and Sal. We had our first sex magic that we ever did, and we
love sex magic.
And then we let it go, and then I'm not even kidding you, 63 days later, with no money down, we got a home. Like
you know what? Sex magic works whether you've been studying under someone or not. I remember with my ex-husband, I did a sex magic spell, and I found like $500 that I had been looking for the last like 3 months, and it was just right there underneath my nightstand. It was underneath the nightstand. I was like, and then the goddess, she was like, "Oh, look underneath your nightstand. There you go. Thank you."
It's amazing how at one point I said, I think we need to stop asking for cash because I felt kind of guilty because we did have some for cash. We kept getting like settlements and like it's still kind of blows my mind how
we as people, we don't even realize that wealth is part of spirituality. You cannot be spiritually healthy without wealth. You really can't. You have to have wealth to be spiritually healthy. It is part, in some worlds, higher worlds, if you don't have any money, you can't go to it. Because like think about it, angels, they can do anything they want. That's a part of wealth. You know what I mean? They can make anything appear. That's spiritual wealth. And we have to get our spiritual wealth up here on this planet now. That's why we're here. It's a part of our evolution as souls. Yeah.
Money consciousness is another one of those things that we are so deeply programmed into.
Oh my God.
That it's taken me a long time to get to where I'm at now. And again, it's the same as having a baby, right? I'm still dismantling that programming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm over that though. I'm just teasing.
I'm really close. I actually say
you're supposed to be rich. We're all supposed to be rich, believe it or not. There should not be one person on this planet that's not rich. We're all supposed to be rich. We're all supposed to be wealthy. We're all supposed to live in nice homes. We're all supposed to drive nice cars. We're all supposed to have those things. Those things are necessary to evolve mentally, spiritually, emotionally. I mean, I remember, there's a post going around like, I want to be rich, but it was something about they rather car in a Mercedes than a Pinto or something. Like, of course, like, something along those lines. Yeah, we're supposed to. And you should never feel guilty, and you're supposed to give. So, when you get something, you give your 10 or 20% of whatever you have. And as long as you do that, you're fine. But we're all supposed to be wealthy. I mean, I'm not where I want to be right now, but I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And you should never feel bad for having. Never, ever, ever.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just be grateful right now. It's really wonderful. So thank you. I guess we're at the top of the hour. It's 10:03 now, so we can go ahead and wrap it up. I'll get in touch with Brittany and get you two connected. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. I had fun.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me so much.
Yeah, Leslie, love you so much. Blessings to you. I will. I'll be getting back in touch with you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. All right, guys, that wraps up Down the Rabbit Hole with El Abbott on Wednesday in Las Vegas, Nevada. I hope you have a wonderful week. I'm going to be moving my show to 1 day a week, and I haven't decided what day that's going to be at. It might actually be on Wednesday. We're all just mostly going to be focusing on interviews, like I said. So I won't be having the show as often, but I would like to try to get some really great people on here to introduce you guys to, who have all kinds of great stuff and things and tools for you to increase your conscious awareness and healing and open your heart more. So thank you guys so much. I also do have some people I'm going to interview where we're just going to go down the rabbit hole and talk about down the rabbit hole stuff. So thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate you all. I love you so much. Have a wonderful day and God bless you. Bye-bye.